I'm actually very surprised to discover how much my van weighs. I have the marble tile, I have the quartzite countertops, and I have 70 gallons of water. I was wondering if I could just swing by in 30 minutes to weigh the van.
Yeah,
cool. Okay, thank you so much.
No problem.
Bye. I actually found a place where you can recycle metal, and when you recycle metal, you bring a big truck, you weigh your vehicle with the metal in it first, drop off the metal, and then weigh it again to figure out how much metal you gave, and then they pay you for it. But I just asked if I could come weigh my van, and they said yes, so I'm going to go there to do that. Okay, I think I'm on the scale right now. I called, I just wanted to weigh the vehicle because it's a camper van. We got the results back and the vehicle weighs 9,020 pounds and the capacity is 9070. So we're pretty close to capacity, but these vans are rated to carry thousands of pounds. And to protect the vehicle even more, I can add an updated leaf spring kit, suspension kit, some beefy tires, and I already have added some sumo springs, which helps with the ride quality a little bit. I did calculate everything throughout the build, the weight of the water, the weight of all the wood I added. I calculated the weight of the tile and the quartzite countertop, and I thought that I had a good amount of leeway between the gross vehicle capacity and how much weight I was putting in it. But now that I've added all of my belongings and my clothes and everything in here, and I also filled up the water tanks, we are pretty close to the limit. We do not have a lot of leeway at all. It's really good and important that I'm not over the limit, so I'm happy, but I did not want to get this close to the limit, and I didn't think that I was going to. Obviously, the more weight you add to a vehicle, the more you're impacting the handleability of it, and also you're spending more in gas to get places. Your gas mileage is gonna lower, and there's not much I can do about that now because I already finished the build. I'm not gonna redo it. I might try to reduce the weight in some ways. Weighing my van also prompted us to take a deeper look at Tori's van and the weight we're adding to her van because she's doing a lot of similar things to me. She's adding ceramic tile, which isn't as heavy as the marble tile that I added in my van, but she also has 3/4 inch wood she's adding, and she's doing a quartzite countertop. So we wanted to reevaluate what we're doing for her van. We actually took her van and weighed it as well, and it is again a little heavier than she anticipated for this stage of the build. So she had to make a compromise. In the entryway, she wanted to have a waterfall for the quartzite, but we actually had to call the person doing our quartzite countertops and tell them that we want to eliminate that part because that was going to be an additional 100 pounds in weight, and it all adds up.
I'm about to see my countertop for the first time. I'm so nervous and so excited to see it. I feel like this is gonna be a huge visual difference. Let's go. I'm so scared.
Shut up.
Whoa, what? Wait, that's actually insane. Wait, it looks like a giant crystal. That's the coolest countertop I've ever seen.
Holy.
This is, no way. No way. Wait, it looks like a giant crystal, doesn't it? Wait, I'm obsessed with it. Is this not the coolest thing you've ever seen?
We didn't get to see the full slab because there were other things covering it. So this is a complete surprise. Like, I feel like we didn't even get a look at the entire stone before they installed it. But that, I mean, that's crazy. Whoa. Whoa, Tori. It looks so good. That's the coolest countertop I've ever seen in my entire life.
I feel like the lighting in here is really dark, so I can't show you guys completely, but there's these really cool golden streaks throughout it that will tie perfectly with my Douglas fir. And there's all of these like dark blue streaks as well. It looks like a giant crystal. This is crazy. I initially wanted this quartzite to waterfall down all the way to the bottom here, but I weighed my van and it's already a bit heavy, and this would have added an extra 100 pounds. So I decided to not do that. I think it would have looked beautiful, but you have to make sacrifices because this is a van.
I think we may also take the time to route out the backs of the 3/4 inch wood that we're adding in here. We didn't want to add 3/4 inch. It's not ideal, but the place where we got all of the hardwood for the van and for our cabinets only had 3/4 inch and not 1/2 inch. If we had the opportunity, we definitely would have added 1/2 inch, and that might be something we explore in the future and change just to reduce the weight a little bit. But you guys know we're overbuilding, so we're not going to worry about that now. I have 70 gallons of water in this van, and that is split up between two 35-gallon tanks. It is a little overkill. I wanted to be able to shower every single day if I wanted to in this van, and I take advantage of my shower a lot, so I am happy that I added that, I think, but that also adds 600 pounds when it's filled up with water. After realizing how heavy my van is, I think that when I drive for long distances, I will probably keep like a quarter or half of the capacity because I don't need 70 gallons all the time. When I'm near my campsite, I'll fill it up to full capacity. That way I'm not driving around with an additional 300, 400 pounds that I don't need to be carrying. Now that I figured out how much my vehicle weighs, I'm definitely looking back on the build, thinking of things that I could have done differently and sacrifices I could have made to keep the weight lower. If you're building a van, these are things that I would have done differently. Like I said, I probably would have done 1/2 inch for the faces. The reason why I didn't want to do that is I didn't want to have to veneer all these different faces when it already came pre-veneered with 3/4 inch, but it might have been worth that extra time, so I think I would have done that. I think I also would have maybe replaced the additional 35-gallon water tank that I have with a infinity shower. I don't know for sure how I feel about this. I don't know how it would work with the filters and the maintenance of the filters. In theory, that would allow me to shower with carrying a lot less water in here. So it's an interesting idea, and I wish it was around when I was building my van, but they didn't really have the best system for it at that time. Now they do. Also for my subfloor, I used really thick wood for the subfloor, and I feel like I could have used less thick wood. I probably could have used 3/4 inch instead of 2x4s as the subfloor. I raised my subfloor and I have heated floors as a result, which is great, but I think I could have gotten away with using some thinner wood for that. I did try to keep all the weight in here near the wheels and also lower, and then try to keep like the lighter things up above. And I tried to evenly distribute it as much as possible, so I'm glad I did that. This week we actually didn't work on Tori's van at all because we dropped it off at the Countertop place and they installed her countertop. And because we had to wait for her countertop to be installed and we didn't have anything to work on in terms of van projects for her van, we spent a little time relaxing this week. It's a really beautiful day today, so we're gonna go to the lake and rent canoes for sunset. Now we're getting speed. Right, Tori? It feels like we're zooming. We took a break from the van builds, came to town, and we rented a canoe for an hour. I also went to a jewelry making class today and I made Tori a ring, but I'll show you guys that later.
These are the beautiful rings that Sarah made me at her class. I love them so much. This is a labradorite. She soldered the entire thing by herself, both of these rings. And the other day, she actually taught me how to solder, and so I made my first piece ever. It's this necklace with red agate in it, and I love it so much.
I decided that I'm going to officially just start wearing silver along with gold. I've always been a gold girl, but if we're doing this, I want to wear things that I've made myself as well. So I made myself this peach moonstone ring, and it has a double band, which I really love. And that's my first silver ring. This is our little makeshift workshop. I'm gonna open the window. And then I have this vent fan that I add here, and that's just because as you solder it releases some fumes, so you need good ventilation. Oh, I need a tall person to do that. Can you do that?
I'll be your tall person, babe. I kind of want to try a ring today.
I want to try pendant, actually.
Show me the light, you flickering darkness.
Another thing I did this week was go to my brother's house to set up a gift for him. There was recently a hailstorm and my brother lost power, so I'm setting up the Bluetti fridge power backup system, so he's prepared for next time. This has a really slim aesthetic design, so I'm gonna set it up on top of his fridge and it's gonna blend in really well with his house. And the next time there's a power outage, he won't have to lose power to his fridge or his fish tank, which is really important to him. I'm gonna do this when it's up there, but I just wanna show you how easy it is to hook up the battery expansion. I just plug this here into that, and then I plug this in here. And there we go. Now I'm gonna hook this up. Now it's hooked up. That was so easy. It literally took me 2 minutes. And when I push the fridge back in, it shouldn't be visible because these are so sleek, so it won't be intrusive in his space. My brother has this really beautiful fish tank that he's really passionate about, and down here is where all of the filters and the CO2 is controlled. So if there ever was a power outage, those would all turn off, which is obviously not good for the fish. So we are going to hook this up to the Bluetti so nothing ever happens in the event of a power outage. I'm gonna hook up this extension cord and run it over to the fish tank. Go around here. This is a modern fridge with an inverter compressor, so it's more sensitive to power surges and power dropouts. I'm going to unplug the power to Bluetti right now to simulate a power outage and see how it handles it. All right, I'm unplugging Bluetti right now. So now there is no power from the grid to Bluetti. This is the other end of the Bluetti power station, so you can see that it is not plugged in, but the fridge is still operating. It's still cold, the light is still on, and the light to his fish tank and the filters are all on as well. Now we're gonna plug it back in. We'll see what the input is. Okay, now we're getting input of 700, 800 watts. What's cool about this system is you can set it up to monitor local weather and it will automatically charge up before big storms. This system actually just launched a few days ago on April 16th. So if you want more information on it, the link is in the description of this video. So those are the results of how much my van weighed. Let me know if that surprises you or if you kind of expected it. And I'll see you guys next week on Sunday for another video. Bye.